happy campers. Welcome back, finally, to Geekin Out. I'm Spike.
I'm Chris.
That's still Chris. It's been a long, strange 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Now, understand what happened. We just updated our equipment. We're now, well, as you can tell, we're in stunning, brilliant 4K Ultra HD now. We have replaced the cheap-o prepaid cell phone video we were using before. And now, here we are, my long, luxurious locks in ultra high def. Last week, we actually recorded about a little over an hour's worth of material between Geeking Out and the Chore of Duty, and
we had a lot to discuss too, and it just went.
And what we found out was that our boom mic requires a separate battery to operate. Therefore, it didn't pick up a single bit of our vocal last week. So that's why we didn't have any Geeking Out, no Chore of Duty last week.
That just shows you how professional we really are.
By God, we're going to be working for Sony yet. Anyway. So anyway, we need to do a little catching up here. First thing we need to catch up on, last week our big thing was we were doing a review of the Addams Family.
Yeah, Addams Family. Oh, we sync on that one.
Late as hell on that one. Anyway.
Well, I didn't know you was going to snap at.
See, that's called stereo right there. Anyway, so, alright, you're the movie reviewer. You give them a quick review of what you thought about the new Addams Family animated movie, and I'll tell them why you're wrong.
Ha!
Go ahead.
Whatever. The Addams Family was a great movie. It is funny. It is very entertaining. It's exactly what you want. It really is. There's a lot of jokes in there for the adults. Probably so much so that, you know, little kids won't understand it. Just go like whoosh over their heads. But still,
it's just something of a time-honored tradition among animated movies these days to include a few things for the adults.
Which is good, because adults don't want to go see a movie where you're just like, oh, shoot me now, you know?
So what's the plot, basically?
The plot is basically, it's kind of like the origin story of the Addams Family. I mean, it shows where, from where they came from, their country, which I have no idea where their country is. I forgot what it
Pakistan or something. I don't
something.
know. Doesn't matter.
Like and
from the looks of things, it's either Transylvania or Romania. Most likely Romania.
Yeah, Romania sounds about right.
Because Gomez is apparently a traveling gypsy on top of everything else. But go ahead.
And they tell the origin story of Lurch, and they move to America, to the suburban neighborhood where everything is bright colors and everybody knows everybody's business, and so on and so on. So basically, the movie is
about this so-called reality star who designs an entire town because she's such a great house designer and a house flipper, or whatever you want to be. She's the stereotypical HGTV host, and she's built an entire town. And can't remember the name of the town, but it's something pithy, to be sure. And the Addams Family move in at the old asylum down the road. So the idea is conformity versus acceptance. Here's the thing: the Addams Family. There's been 3 Addams Families in Hollywood so far. Okay, you have the TV show. You had the first set of movies. And you have this new set of movies, or the first of this new set of movies. The original TV show was all about the acceptance. It was about showing how even though they're mysterious and kooky and all this other stuff, they're still a family and they still get along. In the original set of movies done, I think it was done by Barry Levinson.
Yes.
I believe so. In that set, they really upped the spook factor and the slapstick a little bit in that one, but it was still the underpinning of they're still a family there, but they never really got to the acceptance by the public in either the show or the original set of movies. This time around, it's more direct. The Addams Family are taking on all this entire town, trying to fit in, and especially for Morticia, because she was run out of her bat cave back in Romania, or Latveria, or wherever she came from. She doesn't want to have to go through that again, so she wants everybody to get along. So, bottom line, would you recommend this? And if so, to whom?
I recommend it for anybody who loves the Addams Family, and also for people who just want something different than just your regular. I mean, even though it's animated, something different than your regular kids cartoon. I mean, if you bring your kids to watch this, and your kids want to watch the Addams Family, then I say you raised them right.
In my opinion, now this movie I actually saw. We actually saw it together. And in my opinion, this one hews real close to the original cartoons that Charles Addams did when he created this group. He's the one who created the Addams Family as a series of like one-panel cartoons. I can't remember if it was the New Yorker or the Saturday Evening Post, but it was in one of those. But either way, he did these cartoons first, and then somebody in Hollywood became a fan of it and managed to get it produced to the TV show, blah, 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 blah. Now, the design work here is incredible because I've always thought that with CGI, everybody's been focused on trying to overcome the uncanny valley. Make CGI characters look perfectly human.
Yeah.
They'd be completely artificial actors, but they would look completely human. I always felt that CGI, the part that was not explored was how to use traditional cartoonish or comic book art and translate it to the screen using CGI. This one, it's an interesting step because they captured the look of Charles Addams' characters very, very well and actually translate it pretty well into 3D. So for that, I give him a little golf clap for the technical achievement on that. As far as the storyline goes, it's the same old thing. An outsider shows up into town, wants to be accepted, and has to struggle to become accepted by everybody else. It's an old story. You've seen the story before, and the reason why the story keeps working is because people keep wanting it to work. So if you are an Addams Family fan, yes, you'll want to see this. Little tiny kids 6 and under, I would keep out on this. But if you've got a kid who's really into Halloween and understands, you know what, these monsters and stuff aren't real, then we'll go ahead and give it a shot.
Oh yeah.
So, and of course for everybody up, and for adults, probably, unless you have kids or you're an animation fan or a Charles Addams fan, probably not for mainstream audiences. But
yeah, probably have no idea.
Yeah, there's not a whole lot of mainstream crossover like there was with Barry Levinson stuff, but it's still a decent movie. So.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Now for the big question, would you pay for the scale of 1 to 5? 5 being you would pay full price for it. 4 being you'll pay the matinee. 3 you'll rent it from Redbox. 2 you'll watch it on Netflix, or 1 you'll just ignore it completely. Where would you put it?
Oh, I would pay full price. Me.
So you'd give it a 5. I'd give it a 4. It's worth seeing in the theaters just to see all the effects on the big screen, but I don't think it's worth $10 a ticket. So we're going to wrap this episode up real quick because I'm trying to do shorter episodes because we still haven't updated our computer and it's going to choke on really big, really big 4K files. So I'm trying to open for smaller episodes. We'll be able to knock out some 5-6 minute episodes, get them out there, and we'll actually be able to process these. So until next time you see us, whenever that'll be, I'm Spike.
I'm Chris.
That's still Chris. We'll see you next time on Geekin Out. Night all.